Beautiful people, welcome back. Another episode, Sunday Sessions with Rich podcast. As always, you are the architect of your reality. Anything you don't like, you have the power to change. All it takes is a change in vibration. Now, on today's episode, Ciara, aka the Magic Muir, drops by for a chat. You can catch our last episode 11, Healing Your Inner Child, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Now, Ciara guides souls into freedom and liberation by reminding them of their true power. So if you are ready to peel back the layers of conditioning, she is your person. Check out her inner child healing workbook. I will provide the link below. And if you want to schedule a session with her, the link will be below as well. Welcome back to the show.
Yay. I'm so excited to be on here. You have a completely different energy from like our session and from the last podcast, but it's an absolute honor to be on the show again. So thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being on. For little context, guys. So Ciara reached out. It was perfect. So I was recording with Zahn, and then lately I've been on like just operating from the heart space. So I just wanted to like provide episodes that reflect that. And I was recording with Zahn. I was like, it would be awesome to have Ciara be back on the show. And then you messaged me, like, fuck.
Dang, so you like manifested that for
Yeah.
sure.
I was like, that's so cool. But
Yeah.
oh no, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, just a quick correction. So you are mentioning Ciara. Ciara is my I say Ciara is my shadow name. Ciara is like how it's like Ciara is my shadow, but Ciara is like don't evoke the shadow.
Love the correction. I got you. Like, ooh,
Yes.
I like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who are new to you, please let us know who you are and what you got going on.
So hello everyone. My name is Ciara. My Twitter name is the Magic Mirror because I am a mirror reflecting you back to myself, or reflecting you back to yourself. Sorry, correction.
It's okay.
My maiden name is actually Mirror. So my last name is Mirror, and I just so happen to be like that mirror for people to really just like shine that level of awareness on what patterns, what wounds, what triggers, everything that isn't in the highest alignment of their soul's path. It gets illuminated just by being in my presence. And it goes even deeper when we are in a session together. So a little about my journey. I am a healer, and at this point I'm a really good healer. I know how to heal 100%. Cancer. I know how to heal inner child wounds, mental illness. Like it goes so deep, like just depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, whatever it is, physical or mental. Like I have the tools for you to understand what is that energetic blockage that is causing that to manifest into your life. And it's profound.
1,000%. Because I know we had a session, I think this was like last year, and I was on I was on the floor because you had me, I think, on the floor in the bed, and I was revisiting the situation. I was like visioning my dad, and I remember just like the tears flowing. I was like, oh, I fucking feel this. But the way that Ciara, like you guide us in it is just amazing. And then two, your it was like was it a mentorship you had when we was on WhatsApp? Powerful. Guys, if go ahead.
Oh no, it was the 21-day course.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was like the start of it. So that was like an extensive course where I just made people just like dive deep into like the depths of themselves and like literally alchemize that darkness into light so they can be the creator of their reality. And like I literally taught you how to manifest, like literally shift the codes of reality for you, but also for the collective, like for the highest good of the collective. That is always the intention. So
I'm still forever grateful. I am still forever grateful because now it's been, I think I did the math because I was looking at our old episode, and it's been 81 episodes since like our initial talk. And that was like when I first started this podcast journey, which is fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's so awesome. You're doing amazing.
It's fucking nuts. So thank you for being in the initial part, and thank you for being back on this journey as well.
Yeah, of course. Like It's interesting because like after that course that you were participating in, thank you by the way for
Of
supporting me in
course,
my work.
of course.
Um, I really just started to take on clients that had mental or not mental, like physical disease. So like this year I had the
Whoa.
ability to heal Crohn's disease. I had a tumor within my own body that I healed. I've been now like
Wow.
God universe is sending me so many clients that have like terminal cancer and I'm just like, okay, let's go dive deep into your childhood because it's like a stagnation of energy and we could alchemize that and you're not going to have cancer anymore. Like let's dig into that. And
That's
I've been
interesting.
yeah, it's all a result of energy stagnation, of repressed emotions, really. It's really those repressed emotions that cause physical
Whoa.
disease.
I'm getting like goosebumps as you're saying that. Like, whoa.
Yeah, so I'm going really really deep into this journey of healing and like I it's just remarkable the changes that it's made in my life and then the people that are attracted to my field to work with me. Um I've also like included like herbal medicine. I've really really just like solidified my connection to the earth. And
Love
so
that.
like I've always been a conduit for Mother Earth, but like it's just completely different now where I know what herbal remedy that can assist with whatever it is that this person is struggling with. And it all just channels through me.
That is
And
beautiful.
yeah. So it's remarkable. It's remarkable work. It is such an honor to be on this path. And I just like I'm on a mission to change the world and we all deserve to be in this space of just like joy and peace and
Mhm.
abundance. Like abundance is our birthright. It's like
Damn right.
we deserve this. And we're learning how to now. And people that are coming into our lives are just like, here's the codes. Like you can create this for yourself too.
Yeah. It's interesting because of course, like inner child wounds and trauma, manifest in like situations and people that you date. But I didn't know it could also result into like the like cancer and tumors and stuff like that. Now, that's
Oh yeah.
interesting. But then
Yeah. So
it makes sense though.
I'll go deep into it. So I had an ovarian tumor. I never went to the doctor to get it confirmed because I don't even fuck with doctors.
Yeah,
So
same, same.
I asked God for a sign that it was cancer. The next day, I literally show up at a Starbucks and this woman is glowing. She's like dancing, and I was like intuitively led to go talk to her.
Love it.
And I was just like, I'm just feel drawn to talk to you. And I was just like, hi. And she's just like, I just healed ovarian cancer. You can do it too. And
Wait,
then like, yes, literally. And like she looked like a fucking angel. Like it just like her whole aura was like golden and she was just like dancing like a fucking goddess. And it was so beautiful. And she just gave me that message. And that was the confirmation for me, like, okay, this is cancer. There's nothing to fear. I have the
yeah.
ability to heal it. Um, Turned out I recovered a memory of like being like molested at 3 months old. And it created this pattern of like molestation throughout my life. And like that was like the root of this cyst.
Whoa.
Yes. And so like I literally like 26 years, I went all the way back into like 3 months old of different trauma that I've experienced in my womb. And I was able to heal and recover my soul fragments from each memory of trauma. And then it just like burst. And I like, yeah.
Sheesh, you learn new information. That's damn.
Yeah.
Rewind, because you do a lot of me. You do a lot of me. It's okay. So you ask the universe to show you a sign if to confirm what you thought, because you
Yeah.
didn't go to a doctor. You meet this angel in a coffee shop, right?
Yes. And I was led to go to this coffee shop. I just knew I had to go.
In a coffee shop, see this angel dancing, energy is vibrant. You just feel drawn to go talk to her. And then she's celebrating. So in that sense, not only was she an angel, she was mirroring to you, which is crazy. You also overcoming that while being a messenger at the
Yes.
same. Fuck.
Yes. And like it was just like it was so beautiful, but it was like so intense because I was like, I am really deep in this path now. Like I literally, like, part of my initiation as a healer was just like healing so many like diseases and issues in my own body. And so I was just like, okay, now it's cancer. Like, fuck, like this is like, I feel like this is the epitome of all disease, you know? And so, like, to be able to have that, heal that. And now this year, 2022, I've attracted like 4 different people in my life that have cancer that I am guided to heal. And it's like, once I have that code within me of how to heal it, I can like, give it to them. Like, I know how to do it. I've done it in
Um,
my own body.
I'm getting
Here's the code.
goosebumps. This is some sensational stuff right
Yeah.
here. Because I remember, I keep going back when we had our session, like you feel, you genuinely feel it. Now you have, and that's why I appreciate you and your work. Is you work with people, and you just don't feel it, right? But you can feel like you're coming straight from the heart space, and like you're right there, and you're tapping
Yeah.
into those things. Damn. God damn.
Yeah, that's why my work is so different from everybody. Like, a lot of people on this path, because not everybody's heart centered, they're ego centered, and like people
Exactly.
have this awakening and they're just like, oh, I'm a healer, like, oh, let me do inner child healing, let me do this,
Mhm.
this, and this, because you see everybody else doing it, but it's
Yeah.
not the real thing. And I've done so much work on myself. Like, I literally purify my vessel to be that sanctuary for souls to come to. And that required so much work. Like, I'm talking every single day of my life, I devoted myself to this path. So when shadows show up in my reality, I had to go sit and go within and figure out why that's surfacing. I have to get to the root of everything in my life. And that's what allows me to be a pure vessel for God to flow through.
Could you're definitely channeling. You're definitely channeling not only in the session, but you're channeling right now. I keep getting freaking goosebumps. Okay.
Yeah, like, I just feel like when we had the first podcast, like, I was really embarking into this path, but it was nowhere like this. Like, I was powerful then. Like, I literally
Really?
made remarkable changes. So just imagine now.
God damn. Because the energy is definitely different. The message is still the same, but like I can peep it on Twitter, but just having this conversation, energy just a lot, 10 times lighter
Yeah.
than
And
before.
it's just like embodied. Like, I just like
Mm,
I live, breathe, and eat this stuff. Like, I feel like before I feel like I still had doubts, you know?
mhm.
Like, I was like, am I just crazy? Is this really happening? Like, there's not a doubt in my mind. I know I'm on this path. Nothing is going to get it in my way. And there's different things that have tried to veer me off track. And that's like the spiritual warfare, because this
Yeah.
medicine is so potent and it's going to change the world.
Mhm.
And now I'm on this path of like, other healers are coming to me so they can be activated in this level of purification. So it just
Love
sends
that.
ripples of this to the collective.
I'm I'm getting goosebumps this entire episode. It's just like pulsating, which is I have to I can't wait to listen back to this episode now. I want to ask you now. I know, okay, first and foremost, persons listening to this, it's resonating with them. I know you have a workbook, and then I also know you have your coaching sessions. If
Yeah.
someone wants to, you know, get on this path and you help them, they can do both.
Yeah, I really recommend like the combination of both. So like, I just had a client, she booked a mentoring session with me. And then like, I was just like, I'll give you the inner child workbook. So if you book a session with me, I'll give that to you. It's like 7 days of deep work, and it's like, you don't it's spread out. So I literally like lay out the whole process of the
Mhm.
soul retrieval process, understanding the programs that were created from the trauma, but also guiding you on how to extract that from your body. Like, because the mind creates these barriers that protect you from this trauma. So you may not even feel like you are traumatized because you don't have the memories of it. That's a coping mechanism. We thank the mind for protecting us, but we have to extract that because there's layers of conditioning that are playing out in your life as a result of that.
Damn. So somebody's listening to this because I was having this conversation yesterday, and we are repeating the patterns of the programming, and it's our responsibility to hold ourselves accountable to recode that script. But it's the theme is just accountability. Because if you know you're repeating the same shit, it's great to be aware. But then how do we shift to that new form of action to keep that going? If that makes sense. I don't
It's like a whole act of like devoting yourself to this journey and
Okay.
just like literally get the human has to get out of the way. The human is the ego. The
Yeah.
human is the programmed 3D version of you. And you're just like, you have to just make space for like your soul to just completely take over your life and surrender to that. And then it unfolds from there. And that's deep. Like it's, I know that probably like there's more to it than just that, but just hearing that and feeling that energy, it's already going to kind of take place.
I needed this episode, to be honest. I'm grateful that you that you reached out. On a different note, you've been in the real estate game recently, and I want to talk
Yeah.
about that. So, how did you? Because I know you've mentioned it before, but what are you doing right now?
So I I know that what I am creating requires a level of abundance that I am building right now. I am creating a sanctuary for people to come and heal. And it's going to be a beautiful, extravagant sanctuary. And real estate is allowing me to have that level of abundance to get there. But not only that, I'm creating financial freedom for people that also have these big visions and these little healing sessions, these little things that we're doing to just like support ourselves, these small businesses is not enough to create the big dreams that we have.
Yeah,
So real estate allows for that. And it's honestly just being able to provide a sanctuary for someone. Like that's what a home is. A home is
yeah,
a sanctuary. And I never realized how much I would love real estate. But what's so beautiful about it is like the clients that are sent into my life, like it's a double, it's like I'm literally healing them. I'm like helping them meditate through the process, and we're utilizing like manifestation as a way to get their dream house and like make it a smooth escrow process. Like it's just I don't even have the words to describe it anymore because it's really just something that I just all pieced together in January.
yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, show
Oh,
me a
this was
sign.
just in January.
Well, this isn't just in it. I've been in real estate for 2 years,
Okay.
but this level of like awareness of what I'm meant to do as an agent and a healer just really clicked with me. It just really clicked.
Because I saw your Instagram, and then even just like when you have your you post your videos of you showing the houses, it's just a level of energy that's different than uh average real estate person just showing it. It's like passion, inner child, joy, still a purpose, still a mission, if that makes sense. Well, I know it makes sense.
Yeah. So what was different about it? Like I knew I had to do real estate, but I didn't know how to align the two of like being who I am as an
Right.
agent because there was like this like this like matrix, this real estate matrix that I had to like bust out of that box in order to embody like my soul. And that took time. But now I was able to embody the two. And so you everything good?
Yeah, my cat is like scratching on the wall sticker.
Oh,
She
okay.
does that when she's not getting attention. You
Oh,
might see a cat walk across the screen. Sorry.
sounds like my toddler.
We'll continue. Sorry.
No, it's okay. And then I like asked God, like, show me that I can do both. And like literally that day I was led to the park and I met a client that literally needed assistance with womb healing. And she was just like, oh, by the way, I'm buying a home in a couple of months. We don't have an agent. I'm just like, okay, I hear you. I hear you. I see the path now. And so like I'm doing both, but in a way that is just like so intertwined and
Yeah.
effortless. And it's just what
Can
is
I ask a
allowed.
question? It seems like the theme, because I'm listening. What are you doing? Sorry. She has zooms right now. It
Oh,
seems like the theme, you might see like a little black cat running around. It seems like the theme is just like asking, like, show me a message, or to show me a message of what do I need to do. Is that would you say that that's what it is?
Yeah, just show me the confirmation. So like I receive the messages like intuitively through my channels and I feel it in my heart and I know it. And then I'm just like, okay, because I need sometimes it helps to have the physical confirmation, like,
Yeah.
okay, is this really something that I can do? And then I manifest that confirmation in those ways. Just like I knew intuitively that I had a tumor.
Yeah.
And then I manifested that into reality. Like, yes, like you do, this is your confirmation. Now go and fix it. Like, and then like I was just like, okay, I have this vision of intertwining the two with real estate. How can I do that? And then it manifests in a way where it's just like, just by you being who you are, it's happening.
There's no coincidence with this episode. If I keep having little pauses because it's like it's hitting home to me right now. One when you said something interesting. So just manifesting, right? For someone starting off, because you need that physical proof. Like for example, when I started just taking manifesting seriously, even though we're always unconsciously creating, now we're consciously creating. We need certain things to be that confirmation in our reality. So to like really fully grasp, like, yo, I am the creator of my reality kind of situation. So for someone who's listening to this right now, what are you doing? She's like on the curtain. Sorry about
It's probably energy. It's a lot of energy for her.
So, God damn it, midnight. Just lost my train of thought. No, so just having that confirmation. So we need that physical proof to convince ourselves, because our mind will be like, no, this is too airy fairy, yada yada yada. But no, this is some real fucking shit. So when you and I encourage anyone who's like wanting to manifest in their journey, you have to start with like little details. So for example, today I will run into someone with a pink shirt who starts a conversation. Little stuff like that can actually happen. So when it does happen, you're convinced. Or I'm gonna see a yellow car with a Pikachu sticker on it, something like that. Just to be like, and I'm like, oh shit, like this works. So if anybody who's listening, this is like, oh, I know. How do I start? But you got to gain that confidence. Start with little stuff like that to pop up in your reality to convince you, because the universe is always convincing you, but it's not tuned into it.
Yeah, exactly. The signs are always there. And it's like sometimes we're not present enough to see how our universe, our own personal universe, is always communicating with us. And it always is. Like our inner world is always reflecting into our external world. And I'm at this point in my journey where my inner world is becoming really beautiful because in my external reality, I'm seeing people picking up trash off the ground. I'm seeing people buy
Okay.
acts of kindness. Like I'm seeing people letting them like cut across traffic instead of like before it was just like violence on the streets, like what I'm talking about, like the
Yeah.
aggression. Like I'm seeing more of that, and it's like depending on like where I'm at internally too.
So the inner reflects in the outer, and because
Yeah,
you're a
and so that's why you
conduit
have to
right
do the
now.
work. So sometimes it's not always like it doesn't just like manifest right away because there's so many blockages in your body that are preventing that from reflecting externally, especially if you have like limitations that like prevent that because that creates that resistance. But if you have like a clear channel, it just like boom, like it just
Damn. So it's funny you say that, because I was a couple of years ago I was tripping on acid, and I was when you're in that state, you kind of just, well, for that experience, I will say I was just tripping randomly downtown, and everything was manifesting, like my thoughts, for example.
it's I have chills.
It's just like that. So this quick story. Downtown, I'm just like, oh, consciousness, walking around downtown, yada, yada, yada. Trees are, that's me, the dancing and shit. And then I had a thought, and then I hear the person behind me think that, but say it out loud. So the little slight, to me, it wasn't a judgment, but it was a judgment. And I heard the person say it. I was like, fuck, I'm being exposed that this is how it is, but I'm being shown in real time because I'm more in tune, I'm more aware. So that's like, if you take that concept and like everything is messages everywhere, like it's no coincidence that we were supposed to have this episode's no coincidence I'm getting goosebumps. It's no coincidence you're getting chills kind of thing. It's like, what?
Yeah. And I love that you brought up psychedelics, because psychedelics allow us to be at that frequency. So that's what it is. It's the frequency that we're at. And there's no blockages when we're on acid, because we work through it all when you're on shrooms. And then it's like you become the dominant frequency. So your whole reality is like attuned to your vibration. And so that's why your thoughts are manifesting. That's why these things are manifesting. Now, take that awareness and be at that frequency, and now use it for good. Use it to shift the planet. That's the goal. And there's more of us at this frequency. That's how we change the entire planet. Like, it's so fucking powerful, but it's also like
getting chills again.
They don't want us to have this information, because then that agenda is like crumbling. So everything in this reality is meant to distract you. You're human, but you just, okay, I take that awareness. Now I'm going to reprogram that. Now I'm reprogramming my reality to activate me in remembrance of who I really am. So it takes like, you have to have the awareness of the shadow, right? The shadow, the archetype of the matrix. Like, okay, I see that. Now let me reprogram that for something that is self-serving, not self-serving, like collective serving.
Yeah. God damn. I want to, okay, so the whole hoopla with everything with COVID going on, when it first popped off, I had a thought like, this is meant to wake up the collective somehow. It's like a global reset. So, and I have to catch myself sometimes, because I don't want to, with the messages sometimes too, because I feel like sometimes I'll sway into the narrative, but then I have to get my power back. I'm like, look, all of this is happening. So there's no good and bad guy, right? Each person's playing a character in the expansion of this, this whole. So the bad guys, quote unquote, are serving a character to trigger those who are still sleeping. But if all of this wasn't happening, then those souls wouldn't wake up. Now take that same thought. We are now, I've never known people this aware. Well, in my lifetime, I've only been here for 29 years. But from just knowing things, I haven't known people to wake up to this magnitude, but just being from the heart space, like, this isn't right for humanity. And as I'm saying that, I'm getting a thought, this is just bringing us back to the heart space, in a sense.
$8. And that's like, at the end of the day, we're all love. Love is what prevails everything. And love is always the intention. Like, I literally, this morning, I had a tea ceremony with my husband and my son, and like, we were just like, let's just soak in love right now. And I literally guided him. I was just like, I want you to feel all the love that you have for me and shoot it into my heart. And then I'm going to shoot all the love I have for you. That's, and I'm going to shoot, like, because that, it dissolves all density.
Yeah.
And that's what we're missing. Like, we all, like, as a collective, like, we're living from our egos because we're scared to open our hearts because of all the heartbreak. But if you're brave enough to prevail that heartbreak and be like, yes, I've experienced such pain, it breaks you open to experiencing like the most profound love of God. Like, it just like, it's so.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. What were you saying?
Because recently I've just been operating from the heart space, and it's just like reflecting on certain things that happened, but understanding the reason why it had to happen. Like you said, to break the heart open, to be a vessel of love, to show you how to love versus the unhealthy way of love. But if that didn't happen, you wouldn't have this newfound awareness. And then it's your responsibility to be a messenger
often into the heart.
Exactly. And I was like, fuck. But then somebody listening to this, they'll be like, well, I don't know why it had to happen. Like, I don't get that. But, and again, you're right. But the more your heart breaks open, then you start to understand that fully. And so I just been really, and just even switching up my tweets too. Like, I just been like, you know what? I'm doing myself a disservice, not being vulnerable and not speaking from the heart space. So I need to get back into that. And then someone needs to hear that message, because we think that being vulnerable about situations is a sign of weakness, but that's freaking strength.
I'm so glad you brought up Twitter because like I pour my heart out onto Twitter, and some of the accounts that I was like promoting, they weren't coming from their heart space.
Yes.
And so I had to honor myself, and I had to like say like, you know what, like I can't support your tweets that aren't like, I could tell that they're clickbait.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
it's for interactions and engagements, and that is not in resonance with me. So I will support you when it is in that frequency, but I'm gonna have to break away. And like it was like like I know I hurt them, like I know it was like multiple people,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I have to honor myself, I have to honor this path, I have to follow through with that anyway. And like it was like it was profound for me because I was like, that is the path of the soul right now. I'm listening, I'm following through with what is in resonance with me, no matter how uncomfortable it can be.
Because it is uncomfortable. Because like and now I'm understanding like why, like inner practitioner folks, I love Zahn. Zahn is fucking amazing. Like I understand his structure. I
Yeah.
understand Nile, Nile, I understand her structure, Pammy's structure, your structure, because I'm responsible for the message that's being put out, right? And if it's not operating at frequency, I can't put that channel out there. And I understand it now. I understand it.
Yeah, and that's how, and Nile is really like that. Nile is very selective with what she retweets, and
Yes,
like I
yes.
love her because she mirrored that back to me. And I was just like, you're right. Like she's like, I only retweet what resonates. And I was just like, that's how I was always feeling. And that was, here we are talking about that confirmation.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I was just like, I can't diminish that out of my mind. Like I have to, that's what feels right to me, instead of just like supporting the people I love's content.
Because I had her on the episode. Oh shoot, I just lose track of episodes at this point. But
Yeah, that's fine. There's too many.
we were talking about accountability, emotional intelligence, and just operating from the heart space. And this, I don't know. It just feels great. That's just the best way to describe it. Being vulnerable with your message and honoring yourself, because you're honoring your inner being in that moment. Anything else, you're not, because it's like you said, Twitter is clickbait, and a lot of ego. I mean, I'm guilty.
The whole thing, yeah.
The whole thing, but then you get lost in it sometimes, and you forget that it's people who followed me for. Not saying you have a responsibility, yes, but it should be
It
like
is a responsibility. It is, because it does create a karmic contract too. Like you're literally, like if people like are placing us on pedestals with being these like Twitter influencers, and like you're retweeting content that isn't in resonance for you, but it's gonna like program their minds because they're seeing that all the time. So like,
God damn. And then it just made me think like, I don't want to be responsible for somebody thinking this way when it's not in the highest truth.
yes. So that's why you always have to like ask, like, is this in the highest alignment of love? Is this the intention of unconditional love? Is this serving the collective for their highest good? Like, and I always place my hand on my heart because I know I'm speaking from that, and I feel it. Like it just like, and so like sometimes people always look at me funny because I have my hand on my heart, but I'm just like, no, like I speak from my heart. Like this is the only intention.
World needs healing right now. Needs a lot of healing. And I feel like with a lot of division that's going on, we've kind of let me retract that manifestation. Hold on, give me a sec. I have to correct myself sometimes.
Yeah, I
So
do too.
people are being shown themselves now, and because of that, they're looking inward to what resonates and what doesn't resonate. It took this whole fiasco to occur for us to do so. So we express gratitude for the contrast that's being presented to us, so that we may operate from the heart space.
Yeah, and like I used to have so much anger about COVID. I used to be like, oh, they're doing this to control us, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
COVID is the greatest blessing that ever occurred in my life. And what I'm noticing is that with this new strain, it's so fucking powerful. This is what really clicked with me. People are experiencing heart pain with this COVID. And I'm just like, they're activating their heart, like their hearts are being activated. It's clearing out the blockages. Like, what a
Damn.
blessing.
I didn't
That's
think
literally
about
what
that.
it is.
I'm
And
getting
I'm
goosebumps again.
literally the people sorry, I'm so passionate about it because I'm seeing the people that had the most recent strand of COVID,
Yeah.
they're different in a good way. It's like breaking them open because the earth is a lot. Like when I get sick, I know that it's an opportunity for me to slow down and go within and to analyze. And I feel like that's what COVID is allowing all of us to do. And the world slowed down. I gave birth to my baby in the beginning of COVID, and that allowed my husband and I to be home with him this entire time.
And that
Like,
wouldn't
we
have
got to
happened if it wasn't because of that.
yes. COVID is the greatest blessing. And I used to have so much rage for it because I thought it was like, oh, this is the conspiracies. Like the
Yeah.
conspiracies literally create more division, more fear, more rage. That's the biggest distraction. Like, and I fell into that. And I'm just like, I have this new awareness of it. And I'm so grateful for it.
I caught myself slipping in that too. Cause like I keep the show in a variety of different topics. I never judge anybody's like opinion. I just keep an open space because we're a messenger. So something that you're saying that I need to
Yeah.
know when somebody who's listening. But it got to a point where I was like COVID angry and like mandate angry. And I was like,
Yes.
is this a message I want to like somebody's looking back at, listening back to this? It's just a message I want to portray versus like we saying it's a blessing. Now, instead of focusing on what's happening, what do we want to happen next? And I feel like that should be the now focus instead of keep because that's what they want, bad guys, us as consciousness, to keep the loop going. And I'm like, fuck, it's gotta change the narrative, man. This
Yeah.
this year, people waking up, they say, no, we love each other. I love me. Kumbaya.
Yeah, and you know what else? So, I was so anti-vax, like crazy about it. Like such a I don't know, I don't want to judge myself, but I was pretty not in the resonance of love with it, in the
Mhm.
frequency of love. I ended up getting vaccinated and I realized it's to protect our tribe. Like that's literally what we're doing is that if we were back
Mm,
in like our ancient times, we would do anything to protect the elders. Why
mm,
is it different now? This is what we're doing to protect people. America is like the only country that really feels like this entitlement that people are controlling us. But
yeah.
really, it's a matter of perception. It's about protecting people. And I feel, and in fact, I'm not changed from this vaccine, and maybe I'm more in love, if anything.
Yeah.
Like, and I felt like, oh, it's gonna, like all the stories that are
Yeah.
created as a result of these vaccines, they're just stories. We don't have to feed them. And if there is something in it, we're more powerful than whatever it is.
Glad you said that. I have a friend. She's a channeler as well, and she lives in New York, and she took it as well. And she was telling because we just chatted about it, and it's like you said, perception. And which timeline are you adopting to? When I take because just like water, for example, you pour a glass of water, you can charge that water to do X, Y, and Z. Same thing with a vaccine because everything's intention. But if you go into with the fear of X, Y, and Z, that can happen. So it's like, damn, that makes sense.
It's all intention. And it all comes down to being back in the moment, present moment, each breath being intentional with gratitude. Like it's just really, really comes down to just slowing the fuck down and realizing your power.
Ooh, that might be the title of the episode. To be honest, slow the fuck down.
Yeah. Like,
So, like,
and it's so contradictory being in this industry of real estate because the entrepreneur way of doing things is like you got to keep moving, you got to work 12-hour days, you have to work 60 hours. No, you don't.
that's
You have to
draining.
slow down and be very clear and intentional with how you're spending and investing your time. And when you're present and you're in alignment, you are able to make far more moves than you ever could before. And that's what allowed me to get my offer accepted. Like, the market in real estate is crazy. It's intense. It's flooded with buyers right now. And all these prices are going up above asking. And my clients, I had a really hard time getting their offer accepted until I switched the narrative. I switched into this level of awareness, and I was like, I'm going to be very intentional. And the agent said she picked me because of who I was as a person, not because we had the most competitive offer, because of what I had to offer, what the agent, had to offer. And that now it's just being in the most competitive, fast moving industry, and you can still make these moves, being in a place of presence, of intention, of like, it's just, I know you're mind blown. I'm mind blown too. It's just slowing the fuck down and being strategic with your moves.
Can I ask you a question? So because people can apply this to anything. So I'm very curious. Being intentional. So just with how things are going to shape out, or your intention behind it, and then that person picking up on the energy and then being drawn towards you.
Yeah. And it's like I encode everything with this energy and this intention. The text messages I send, the phone calls, the emails, everything is just encoded with intention. And it's about slowing down and being present and being aware of what you're emanating from your being. Like,
what's the intention in this moment, and what do I want to do, versus, because that autopilot, right? We're just rushing through. Because, for example, you trying to sell the house, for example, but you're not consciously, and I want this house to be a sanctuary for a future family to feel whole, love, etc., etc. And then that person aligning with that.
yeah. And it's for, and when the intention is for others, it always manifests.
Because you're not being selfish at that point. You're being,
no. So that's like the code. Like that's like the formula. It's like creating your manifestations to serve the collective. That's the secret trick. Is like let's say you want to draw in more clients for healing, for your healing business, or whatever it is, more people, more viewers for your podcast. I want to serve more people. And this platform is the conduit to allow me to serve and to activate. So draw in more people that I can help.
I needed that message, to be honest, because like that's just the whole purpose. I don't care about I'm not in it for no financial reasons. It's just like I just want to be of service to others and just help people as much as possible. And because I still get not backsided. Why did I say backsided? I still get, when people reach out, your podcast has done this for me, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, this was the whole point. Like, I don't want the recognition. I just want to help.
Yeah, exactly. Like usually when people thank me for like what I do, it like kind of goes in one ear out the other. Like it just doesn't even matter to me. So I just like, this is who I am. Like, what do you mean? Like, this is how we should all be. But I'm going to slow down a little bit, and I'm going to receive the compliments, but because it just makes me want to serve more people. And now I'm receiving that in the real estate industry. Like the clients that I'm serving are telling me this, and I'm just, and like, even I do open houses every week now. And that is like a way to meet people. And just like the conversations I have at this open house is just so remarkable. And I know that it creates the ripples of healing. It creates the ripples of love.
God damn, let me ask you, do you see yourself like, I know the answer, but I'm going to say it anyway, like a giant like retreat kind of
I'm
tribe
seeing
like
like
thing?
thousands. Like I see like I want to have seminars, and there's just like thousands of people there, and then retreats too, just like however many people we can serve. And it's just like just sharing these stories, sharing this like joy with each other. And so I know that's where I'm headed. Like I just don't know when. I just know it's coming.
Okay. I'm supposed to say this to like whoever's listening. When you, not you, no, not you, by the way, but excuse me, when you are, when we're manifesting something and we're backtrack, we're so focused on the end result in life, just life in general, that we forget the journey aspect, right? The process is the journey. And then with manifestation too, I'm super guilty of this. I'm going to use myself as an example. You want to get to a end goal, but the journey in between the manifestation, the one person being on your episode or that one guest turns into this avenue and that avenue. You being at the open house, that one conversation, that person thinks of you a year down the road, and then it's like, oh, come be a part of my seminar, come be a part of my retreat. Those little moments
Little
is what we
seed.
should, those key things. Yeah.
They're little seeds that you're planting, and they're gonna blossom one day. You don't know when. You just have to be patient and grace and just like be very, very grateful you had the opportunity to plant those seeds. But also like literally harvest the fruits that have already been planted from years ago of what you're manifesting. Because like I know 4 years ago I manifested this life that I have now. And the
Yeah.
version of me would that I'm living now is just like astonished with what I've created. And so that's going to be the same thing in 4 years from now because we always want more. It's just like a
Yeah.
journey. Like that's the rat race, is that we're never satisfied with what's in front of us. We always are in pursuit of something better. But the key is just planting those seeds for the future and enjoying what is in front of you now. And my husband has actually always been the teacher for me for that. He's always been like, okay, you're going to get this and then what? You're going to get the sailboat and then what? You're going to get the private jet and then what? And he always like, we always had these conversations and I like was just like, you know,
It's
like
true.
he's the most like, I don't know, he just is satisfied with what's in front of him and he doesn't really require much.
You get the sailboat, then what?
You get the followers and then what? And that's like, I manifested the following I have on Twitter. And now I'm just like, I want more, you know? And I'm just like,
Is
when I
it ever
started,
enough? I think that's the question the trap I feel like we fall into. Is it ever enough that what we want and we're not
yeah,
appreciative?
yeah. And my husband, his name's Miles. He always mirrors that to me. Like, when is it going to be enough? And I'm just like, you're right. Like, it's already here. Like, it is.
Because I say, okay, imagine, right? Imagine everything manifested in real time. You got your boat, you got your private jet, you got your retreat, you got your seminar.
Then what? What am I in pursuit of next?
Exactly. So that buffer in between of getting to there, I was like, oh
That's a
fuck.
sweet spot. That's the journey. Like it's so cliche. Like life's the journey, not a destination. But it's
It's
about the
true.
journey, the sweet moments that pass us by. Like this, here we go, another moment. That conversation we just had is gone. But we were so present and we were so passionate about it. We enjoyed it. We lived it to the fullest. It really is about slowing down and living moment to moment. And when you do that, when you live moment to moment, you have the clear awareness of what move to make next. You're allowed to feel the messages of where life is guiding you.
I'm grateful for this episode. I'm gonna keep saying that.
Yeah, I'm grateful for it too.
Question. So I know, okay, you do a lot of Twitter spaces. How do you find that? Because I will say, I listen like some. I don't see how you and Zion do it sometimes because it'd be some people that's just like outlandish and like rude and just cutting in and
Yeah,
shit. I'm like, are you? What do you? How do you manage that?
just love. And it took a lot of practice because I did get attacked a lot on the internet. Once I started blowing up
Really?
on Twitter, I would get attacked and then I would delete the tweet. This was probably like 2 years ago. I just
Okay.
couldn't handle a difference in perception. But now I just realize it's just like, oh, they have a different perspective of reality than I do. I love them. Love to you. I honor and respect you, but this is my perspective and this is my space and this is what I'm sharing. You're welcome to share your opinion too, but we're going to redirect it back to what I'm presenting. And if you have a different perspective, you're more than welcome to create your own space and call on your own people that have that same frequency and belief as you. And so I just handle it with so much grace and love, and I don't judge them. That's the key, is not no like practicing non-judgment.
Everybody's operating under a certain frequency and understanding. And until they adopt new information that's true, that's the frequency that they're on.
Yeah.
Fucking bars. I always, so it's been 80, I keep saying it's been 81 episodes because can't believe I've recorded so many episodes during that time. But I always ask this last question to my guest. What would your message be to humanity during this time?
Slow down and go within. Everything that's presenting yourself, like any kind of chaos that's presenting itself into your life, ask yourself, what is the message beyond this? What is it that needs to be learned? What needs to be acknowledged? What needs to be understood? And it will alchemize it for you.
Oh, that message was definitely for me. Sheesh. I am so grateful for you being on the show. Hopefully it doesn't take 81 episodes to hop back on because this is
No, I would love to hop on again soon. Next couple of weeks. Let's do it.
This is beautiful. If Jesus, I fucking feel that. Guys, all of the information will be at the bottom of the description. This is a heartfelt episode. This is what I wanted. I felt it was a reason for this. The everything will be below the description. Yeah, just thank you so much for being on the podcast again. This is powerful.
Of course, it was an honor. It was an honor to serve, and I hope this message lands with all the people that are watching this, and know that you're not alone on your journey. In fact, you have a whole galaxy that supports you on this path, and remember who you are and what you came here to birth into this realm.
We go end the episode on that, guys. I love you. Take care as always.